Okay, my favorite book. That is a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly. That's a book that, it's a wonderful book for kids, as I found out as a kid, and it's a wonderful book for adults, as I found out as an adult, about a young woman who has to find her father, and she goes across time and space to find him. Loved it from when I was a kid to when I was an adult. Still read it once a year.
Hey there. My name's Keith Stevens. I play Rob in the book club. My favorite book I would have to say is probably 1984 by George Orwell. Just really affected me growing up and sort of led me to question the construct of writing, but also just to be riveted by the information that was given in that book and how to take a look at the world a little differently after reading it. So,
my favorite book is War and Peace, and I read it when I was working, when I was in New York. I was working the night shift at a hotel that hadn't opened yet, so, well, there was nobody there. And so it was just me sitting at the desk, but I had to stay awake all night. So I started reading War and Peace, and it was so amazing. Maybe it was because it was winter, and I was all by myself, trapped in this office. But there's something, and actually the part that really surprised me was that the war parts of what I really liked, because it was like, they talked about Napoleon. It's sort of like the Terminator rising to the top of the hill and scanning the horizon. And I totally thought I'd hate the war parts because I'm a pacifist. But then the relationships that developed, the images were just so gorgeous. The sleigh rides, everything was just gorgeous.
My favorite book is the Harry Potter series. I started reading it when I was in middle school, and that was kind of like the first book that I independently started reading, and I got engrossed through the whole series. I was the one waiting, like counting the days down. The next book is coming out in 5 days. But it just was really awesome because the imagery and it sucked me into the book, and I just fell in love with the character.
My favorite book is Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury, which I read as a child and absolutely loved because it's all about fall and carnivals. What I realized as I got older, the reason I loved it is the same reason Ray Bradbury wrote it. It was dedicated to his father. There's a father character in there who reminded me very much of my own father. So I love that book. I read it every 3 or 4 years.
My favorite book is by Shel Silverstein. It's called The Missing Piece Meets the Big O. And it's the story of this little kind of wedge triangle that looks like a piece of cheese. And he's trying to find the piece that he's missing from. And so there are all these like little Pac-Man characters that come around, and some hold him too tightly and some don't hold him tight enough, so he goes and falls through. And then he tries to do all these different things, like he tries being flashy, he tries to make himself more attractive, and then finally finds the missing piece, and it's just a beautiful kind of, I read it as a child first, but now that I'm an adult, I realize it's a perfect, like, kind of, I don't even know what the word is. It has a lot of symbolism for relationships and how relationships are in your life, and it has changed my life.
Is by David McCall, and it's a trilogy, 3-part biography of Theodore Roosevelt, and it's fantastic, brilliantly written, and just superb history. It really is.
There we go.
Wow, this was a tough one. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a consummate book nerd. But if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be the Harry Potter series. That book from book 1 captured my imagination. I just love all the research Rowling put into it. I don't think a lot of people appreciate just how much research. When she says she wrote pages on just the mental zone, I believe it. She inspired my writing to be far better. I was very active in the piano for a while, probably the first one I was hardcore involved in. I grew my writing as a series, result of a series, and it was wonderful watching the books, not just Harry grow up and the other characters grow up and change, but to watch J.K. Rowling's books improve as the series went on, just watching her grow as an author too.